He blamed me for losing a $50,000 account to save his own quarterly bonus, so I rigged his laptop to destroy his marriage and his career in front of the CEO. I know that sounds harsh, and maybe a little illegal, but hear me out. This wasn't just about money, it was about justice. Let me introduce you to Rick. We called him Slick Rick behind his back, but not in a cool way. Rick was the human embodiment of a LinkedIn hustle culture post. He wore suits that were too tight, had teeth that were too white, and used words like synergy and bandwidth unironically. He was the senior sales rep, which meant he spent 90% of his time flirting with the receptionist and 10% of his time taking credit for my work. The betrayal happened on a Tuesday. We had a massive deal on the table with a tech firm. I had done all the grunt work, the research, the proposal, the pricing models. All Rick had to do was email the final contract. He forgot. He literally just forgot because he was too busy planning his golf trip. The client walked. When the CEO stormed in, demanding answers, Rick didn't even blink. He pointed a manicured finger right at me and said, "I told Op to send it by noon." I guess he just didn't have the bandwidth. I stood there, jaw on the floor. I tried to defend myself, showing the timestamped emails where I sent the file to him, but the CEO just waved me off. Rick is a top earner. Fix your workflow or you're out. I got put on a performance improvement plan. Rick got a bonus. I went to HR, but our HR rep is Rick's cousin. Yeah, she told me to focus on being a team player and stopped returning my emails. Rick walked by my desk later, winked and whispered, "Better luck next time, champ." That wink sealed his fate. I stopped being angry and started being helpful. Over helpful, I became Rick's go-to tech guy. "Oh, the printer is jammed. I got it, Rick. Wi-Fi slow. Let me check your settings." I spent 2 weeks gaining his trust, waiting for the perfect moment. It arrived with the quarterly review. This was the big one. The CEO, the board members, and potential investors were all going to be in the conference room. Rick was leading the presentation. The morning of the meeting, Rick was sweating. "My laptop is acting up," he said, tossing me his machine. "Can you set it up in the conference room for me? I need to go prep." He went to the bathroom to do his hair. "Sure thing, Rick," I said. "I've got your back." I took his laptop into the empty conference room. I had 20 minutes. I didn't need 20. I only needed 5. I didn't delete his presentation. That's too amateur. Instead, I wrote a simple script using a task scheduler. I set it to trigger exactly 15 minutes into his presentation, right when he'd be deep in the revenue projections. The script was designed to launch a series of fake, custom system notifications that looked exactly like Outlook and iMessage pop-ups. I tested it once. It was beautiful. I plugged his laptop into the giant 85-inch 4K projector, made sure the volume was at max, and walked out. The meeting started. I sat in the back, notebook open, looking like a diligent employee. Rick was on fire, pointing at charts, using his laser pointer, talking about aggressive growth strategies. The CEO was nodding. Then the clock hit 10:15 a.m. Bing. A notification slid onto the top right of the massive screen, visible to everyone in 4K resolution. It was an email notification. Subject: Ashley Madison subscription renewal. Body: payment confirmed. Your profile StudMuffin69 is now active for discreet encounters. Rick froze. He laughed nervously. Weird spam, sorry guys. He tried to click it away, but his mouse hand was shaking. Ding. A text message notification popped up. From Dr. Henderson. Body: the test results are back. It is contagious. Please inform your wife immediately. The boardroom went deathly silent. The CEO took his glasses off. Rick turned beet red. I don't. This is a virus or something. He started mashing keys to close the windows, but I had programmed them to reopen if clicked. Bing. From Google search history. Recent search. Is it illegal to embezzle from a nonprofit? Recent search. How to fake sales numbers for Q3. That was the dagger. The embezzlement search wasn't even true, but in that moment with the other notifications, nobody doubted it. Rick panicked. He physically tried to cover the projector lens with his hand, but the notifications kept coming. He eventually yanked the HDMI cable out so hard he nearly pulled the projector off the ceiling, but the damage was done. The silence in that room was heavy enough to crush a tank. The CEO stood up slowly. "Rick, my office, now." I just sat there, scribbling in my notebook. As Rick walked past me, looking like he was about to vomit, I leaned in and whispered, "Guess you didn't have the bandwidth to clear your notifications." Rick was fired before lunch. His wife filed for divorce 3 weeks later. Turns out the Ashley Madison thing was a lucky guess on my part, but a correct one. Now, whenever I have to present in that room, I make sure to double-check the connections. You know, just in case.